Hey everybody and welcome to this video. I'm InksLaura123 and this is going to be a book themed video. So I'm going to be giving you some book recommendations. I get asked so much for books that I recommend people read. You know, because people know I'm such an avid reader, I love reading, I read every single day. People always say, you know, if you've got a book you recommend or what book should I read? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's really weird because I've read so many books over the years. I love so many books, but I just kind of go blank when someone asks me. It's really weird. So what I've done, I've selected some books from my bookcases and I've tried to pick lots of different kind of books as well, not lots of different genres, to show you in this video, and hopefully you'll find interest in one or more of these books, maybe all of them, I don't know. But yes, I hope you enjoy watching. These are my book recommendations. Now obviously the book shops are closed at the moment because of lockdown and stuff, but you can still buy books online. There's eBay, there's Waterstones online, there's Amazon, etc, etc. And these books that I'm going to show you, they're not like brand new or anything, so you should get them quite cheap. So yeah, let me just get on because I'm rambling. The first book I want to show you is by an amazing author who sadly isn't with us anymore. She passed away some time ago, Eva Ibbotson, and this book is called The Reluctant Heiress. Now this book, honestly, now can I just say, like certain books that I read, I think, oh, that was a good book. And that's it, you know, and I won't even think about it until someone mentions it and I'll be like, oh yeah, I read that book, it's pretty good. That's that. Certain books I read though, I just kind of fall in love with, like they take a special place in my like bookish little heart. And I just love the characters, the story, and I just feel, I don't know, like a certain connection with them. For example, some books I read, even if they're really good, and I just sell them on eBay, but some books I read, there's no way that they're going anywhere and they stay on my bookcases, and you know, maybe I'll never read them again, maybe I will, but I just love them, you know what I mean? I've got a connection with them. So these books here that you're going to see, I feel very drawn to and connected to. Also I've only chosen standalone books. I was going to do series as well, but maybe I'll do that in a separate video at some point. But I've read so many book series over the years that I can't think of all of them. I don't own all of them. So I'd have to have a proper good look around my books and think about series I've read over the years. But yeah, so these are just standalone books. But anyway, what I was saying was some books are just really, you know, special to me, and I just love them so dearly. And this is one of them. And Eva Ibbotson, her writing style was so beautiful and it just makes you feel something, like it really does. She was an amazing author. So let me pop on the glasses, I'll read the back to you. Now what normally happens is whenever I do book related videos, I mess up my words. I go blah, 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 blah. I can't pronounce words, so if that happens in advance, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I think it's the pressure of me being on camera. I don't know. Like if I could just be reading out the back of the book to Nathan, I'm fine. As soon as the camera's in front of me, I'm like blah, 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 blah. So if that happens, I'm sorry, all right? Just laugh at me, it's fine. So, as I say, The Reluctant Heiress from Eva Ibbotson is the first book I recommend. So it says, a star-crossed romance. Being an heiress in the 1920s Austria with nothing but a broken down castle to your name and nary a penny in your purse could be frustrating for anyone, but the Princess Theresa Maria of Pfaffenstein, I hope that's how you say it, Pfaffenstein. Tessa, however, is thrilled with her situation as it allows her to concentrate on her love of the arts, and no one in the Viennese Opera Company need know that their delightful and charming under-wardrobe mistress is really, in fact, a princess. But when the dashing self-made millionaire Guy Farn arrives at the opera in search of a suitable entertainment for his high society guests, Tessa realises that there may be more to life and love than just music. And while the attraction between them is undeniable, Guy's insufferable snob, I hate this character by the way, she's horrible, snob of a fiancé only solidifies, there we go, Tessa's determination to keep her true identity a secret. Yet after a chance meeting with a handsome Englishman, Tessa's reserve begins to melt and she starts to wonder if it's too late for a fairy tale ending. This is just lovely. You need to read this, please. It will make you feel all warm and fuzzy, and it's just so beautiful, and it's really cool. So, first book recommendation done. Next book I recommend to you is I would say my favourite book of all time. Whenever anyone ever says, what is your like #1 favourite book ever, forever, ever, I always say this one here. And if you're an avid viewer of my channel, you'll know that book is The Night Circus. Of course it is. Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus. This book is, as it says on the front, breathtaking, dazzling, enchanting, and so much more than that. It's just, I love it. It gives me like, woo, goosebumps thinking about it. So it says, the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It's simply there when yesterday it was not. There's magic, there's romance, there's magician battles, there's everything. It's just weird. There is parts of it where you're like, huh? And then it all kind of ties into itself and you're like, ah. It's just so good. Like, I just love this book. The sad thing is, actually, I waited so long for the next Erin Morgenstern book, like years. She released her second book, I think, I can't remember what it was called now. Is it The Starless Sea? Possibly, but she released this one, and then it took her years and years and years for certain personal reasons, apparently, that she didn't release the next book. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and I was proper excited. And I have to say, I didn't like the other book. I think I just stopped reading it halfway through, which kind of really saddened me, because when I like an author and their writing style, I usually like, you know, the other books they do, but it's just, I don't know, it was just a bit of a letdown for me, and I didn't really enjoy it. But I know a lot of people did, so that's just my personal view. But this book here, The Night Circus, is amazing. Million% out of 10. Just love it. Okay, next book is actually a book that I got because of The Night Circus. So on Goodreads, by the way, if you're on Goodreads app, come follow me. The link's down below to my Goodreads page. You get kind of recommendations on there that, if you like that book, you'll also love this book. If you've read this, you'll like that kind of thing. And I remember, this was years ago, I read The Night Circus, and it said, if you like The Night Circus, you know, for fans of The Night Circus, check out The Golem and the Djinn, right? And I did check it out, and I'm pleased I did, because this book is another one of those that is special in my bookish heart. I love this book. It's by Helen Wecker. Helen Wecker. Anyway, The Golem and the Djinn, it says, two strangers, one destiny. And it's just so good, so good. So it's based in New York in 1899. You've got Shavra, who's a golem, which is a creature made of clay brought to life by a Jewish rabbi. And the rabbi in this book, like the main character who created the golem, was such a beautiful, lovely person. Anyway, when her master dies on the voyage from Poland, she arrives alone in an unknown city. Then you've got Ahmed, who's a djinn, and he's a being of fire, trapped for centuries and brought back to life by Arbeli, who's a tinsmith, who invites him to stay in his workshop in Lower Manhattan. Together, experiencing freedom for the first time, they form the most unlikely of friendships, but a powerful threat will soon test their bond, driving them back into their own worlds and forcing them to make a fateful choice. So good. It's so good. So yeah, if you like The Night Circus, or maybe even if you didn't like The Night Circus, check out this book, because it's truly brilliant. Alright, the next book I'm going to recommend is a more recent book. I think this was out last year. Now, I've just finished reading The Guest List, which is also by Lucy Foley, but this is The Hunting Party. So for those of you that know about my book stuff, what I like and I don't like when it comes to books, you'll know that I love thrillers. I love reading thrillers because whenever I do, it kind of turns me into Detective Laura on the case, trying to figure out what's what and who's done it. So yeah, I love thrillers, but the thing with me in thrillers, I don't tend to keep them, simply because once I know who's done it, I don't want to read it again, kind of thing. I know there are some people who do reread thrillers, because once they know what happened, they kind of go back, read it a second time and look out for those clues that they missed, which I think is a pretty cool idea, actually. But I don't do that. Okay, so you know, that's why I don't have like many thrillers in my bookcases, because I once I know who's done it, I don't want to read it again. I've still got thrillers that I haven't read yet, obviously, in my bookcase, but anyway, I'm blabbering, sorry. But this one here, I'm such a rambler. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This book was absolutely fantastic. So if you like your kind of Agatha Christie styly kind of thrillers, crime thrillers, you will love this. It's brilliant. It's really gripping. It's exciting, and you don't even find out who's dead till way into the book, which I found pretty interesting. And also that was the same sort of thing with the guest list as well. You don't find out who's dead till kind of near the end kind of bit, and that keeps you guessing throughout, and it's really great, and you get kind of interested in all the characters, and then you find out, boom, one of them's been killed, and it's really good. I like her style. So it says the hunting party, everyone's invited, everyone's a suspect. So it's set in a remote hunting lodge deep in the Scottish wilderness, and old friends gather for New Year. They gather every year to meet up for New Year. So you've got the different characters, for example, the beautiful one, the golden couple, the quiet one, new parents, the outsider, etc., etc. It says it's not an accident. There is a murder amongst friends. There's been a murder. The atmosphere was cool. It was very eerie. It was very creepy. As I say, I love the fact that you didn't find out who was dead straight away. Each kind of chapter was a different point of view from a different character, which I loved. And I had my guesses throughout, and I was like, no, I was wrong. But then when I got near the end, I kind of had a clue, and I did get it right. But with some thrillers, I don't. It's hit and miss. But yeah, if you want a good thriller, check out this one, Lucy Foley, The Hunting Party, and also check out The Guest List, which is brilliant as well. Okay, moving on from a thriller to a young adult book. Some people laugh at me because I am 40 years old and I read young adults, but there we go. I just don't see a problem with reading any book. If you like a book, read it. If you don't like it, don't read it. There are adults who read young A books. There's young adults that read adult books. It just, to me, it just doesn't matter. But I love this book. It's a sweet, cute little book, and it's called Guy Corella. It's by Ashley Poston. Sadly, a bit like Erin Morgenstern's, after I'd read this, I waited for her next book, and I wasn't impressed by it, to be honest. It was just all right. But this is great. And if you like Cinderella, but also a kind of mixture of Cinderella, cosplay, Comic Con, a bit of romance, a bit of fandom kind of stuff, it's great. It really is. The main character's really cute, Ellie. I love it. There's also the actor who plays, she's basically obsessed with this show, and he's the actor in it, and he loves acting and stuff, but he's not getting taken seriously because he's like a teen heartthrob. So the fandom are being a bit harsh on him, and then I won't ruin it what happens, but it's really sweet. It's lovely, and as you can see from the picture, she works at a place called the Magic Pumpkin, which is like this little takeaway food van. It's very cool. It's very cool and sweet and lovely, especially if you're a bit of a nerd, a bit of a geek. It says here, part romance, part love letter to the nerd culture, and also totally adorable. A fairy tale for anyone who believes in the magic of fandom. So, Guy Corella, cute as anything. Okay, the next book I want to recommend, this one, wow. This one, once again, I just have a special place for this. I've only read it the once, but I would definitely read it again because I miss the main character. She was adorable. The main character was called, obviously, Evelyn, because it's the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But she was just so, I loved her. The character felt so real for me. But anyway, let me say, right. So the book that I recommend next is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by the amazing Taylor Jenkins Reid. She also wrote a book called Daisy and the Six that you might have heard of. It was quite a big book, come out I think a couple of years ago. That was the story of like a rock band and behind the scenes what happens, and a bit of drama and music and secrets. Loved Daisy and the Six as well. I don't own that one. I regret not keeping that. Out of all the books that I've had and I've sold on eBay and stuff, I really regret getting rid of that, because I really enjoyed Daisy and the Six, and it had a really cool cover. But anyway, maybe I'll get it back one day. I'll buy it back on eBay or something. But yeah, this is the one I'm recommending. So it's about this actress. Well, she's a reclusive former Hollywood icon actress called Evelyn Hugo, and she tells the story of her life, what happened in her life, and there's a lot that happened in her life. It's quite scandalous, and glamorous. And she tells her story to this unknown reporter called Monique Grant, who has to have the job of kind of writing her story and getting to know her. And Monique is quite shocked that this massive kind of starlet has chosen her to write her story, but she goes with it. It's a good, you know, start for her career. So she listens to her story in fascination. So from making her way to Los Angeles in the 50s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course there's 7 husbands along the way. So not only do you get the story of all like the Hollywood scene and stuff, which is very, you know, interesting, but it's also the different husbands that she'd had along the way, which I found even more fascinating in a way, the romances and what happened and stuff. Where is it? Oh yeah. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but obviously, you know, there is a connection. So yeah, not going to give any spoilers, but it's brilliant. I honestly, I'm looking at it now, I just want to read it right away again, but really, really good, that one. Okay, so I've got 4 more books here to show you that I recommend. By the way, really quickly, don't forget I do have another YouTube channel, so it'd be awesome if you could check that out as well. Minx Laura 123 ASMR. On that channel I make videos to help people with anxiety, insomnia, kind of relaxation videos. So yeah, links down below to my other channel. Really appreciate if you check Minx Laura 123 ASMR out. Anyway, moving on to the next book I recommend. I had to pick a kind of classic cult book in this video. It's all well and good picking these kind of books, but I wanted one that was like a real kind of, you know, stands the test of time. And this has been out for so long, and you could still read it now, and it feels current. And I don't know, there's something really special about this book. It is, of course, by S.E. Hinton. It's called The Outsiders. I know this is a film as well, and I've not yet seen the film. I'd really like to, though. And this is a special edition of the book. This is the 50th anniversary edition, and it had really cool little features in, like never before seen photographs and letters, and it's really fascinating. And if I show you in here, look, you've got all the little catchphrases here and stuff. Stay gold, pony boy, stay gold. Things are rough all over. If we don't have each other, we don't have anything. This book is so good. Like another one that I would definitely read again. It's just an amazing story of friendship and just belonging. Ponyboy can count on his brothers and on his friends, but not on much else besides trouble with the socks, a vicious gang of rich kids whose idea of a good time is beating up on greasers like Ponytail. Sorry, Ponyboy. I don't know why I said Ponytail. Ponyboy. I think it's because greasy, and then I was thinking of greasy hair, and then anyway, I feel like an idiot now. Grease is like Ponyboy. Well, at least I've made you laugh, right? At least he knows what to expect until the night someone takes things too far. Anyway, that was a bit awkward, isn't it? Saying Ponytail instead of Ponyboy, but it's a great book, and I was so happy to get this, as I say, this edition of it, because it's just cool, and it's a collectible edition. So I'm looking after that book, I tell you now. All right, moving on. Oh, God, I feel such an idiot now. The Loneliest Girl in the Universe. This is so beautiful. I love this book. Lauren James. This is a bit sci-fi romance, kind of just, yeah, great story. So it says, can you fall in love with someone you've never ever met, never even spoken to? Someone who is light years away. Romy Silvers is the only surviving crew member on a spaceship bound for a new planet. She's the loneliest girl in the universe until she hears that a second spaceship has launched from Earth with a single passenger on board, a boy called Jay. Their only communications is via email, and the messages take months and months to transmit to each other. Yet she finds herself falling in love. But what does she really know about Jay? And what do the strange new messages from Earth mean? Sometimes there's something worse than being alone. This is so good. I haven't read this for ages, and I loved this book when I read it. It says here, a white knuckle ride through space, science, love and fandom. And it really is. It's a mixture of everything, and I love the fact that the story had like little emails in it and stuff, and it felt like really real, and just, yeah, I love it. I do like a bit of sci-fi, not often, but when I do, I really get into it. And this just was great. So yeah, The Loneliest Girl in the Universe, Lauren James. Right, I've got 2 more books to show you. I only tend to read fiction. I don't read factual autobiographies and stuff. I think in my life I've read about 4 autobiographies, and that's pretty much it. So I tend to read fiction because I like that kind of escapism and just, yeah, getting to know characters and stuff. However, there is one book I am going to recommend that is an autobiography, and it is obviously factual and not fiction, and that's because it is about one of my favourite TV personalities, paranormal gurus. It is, of course, the one and only Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures. This man, I would say, is my celebrity heartthrob. I think he's been a celebrity heartthrob for, like, I don't know, years now. He's not as dishy as he used to be, but he's, you know, he's all right still. He's all right still. But no, apart from obviously the looks of him, he's a really cool person. I love Ghost Adventures. It has to be, out of all the paranormal shows that me and Nathan watch, our favourite ghost show. There's just something about it. We love the fact that there's not really a crew with them. It's just them 4 cameras, you know, obviously all the equipment, and you just get into it, and they get great evidence. They're constantly bringing out new equipment to, you know, trial and test and get evidence and stuff, and they you know, all the guys have been working together so long that they all get on really well, and there's that friendship bond. And, you know, obviously Zach is like the leader of the gang and stuff, and this is his story about how we got into not only Ghost Adventures itself, but also paranormal stuff, and each chapter is just so interesting, and you get to know him a bit more. I think some people think that Zach's a bit kind of egotistical, which he probably has got a bit of an ego, but come on, he's Zach Bagans, he's gonna have a bit of an ego, but I honestly think he's quite a sweet soul. I think he cares about people, and he's fascinated with learning about the paranormal, and also you know, like getting evidence out there, debunking stuff that's not real and showing stuff that is real, and he's constantly learning about the paranormal and stuff. So this is called Living Life Through the Dead, I Am Haunted, by Zach Bagans, and he has got a few other books as well, but this was his first one, and it's just fascinating. It says come along for the ride, but yeah, Zach's pretty cool. So if you are into the paranormal and you love Ghost Adventures, really, even if you don't like Ghost Adventures, I recommend that, because it's, as I say, all paranormal themed. It's very interesting. And the last book I want to recommend is this one here, and it's by Ruth Hogan. It's called The Keeper of Lost Things, and this book honestly made me so emotional on all different levels. Even now I'm like, whew, it was just beautiful and sad and thought-provoking and charming and just everything. It was so good, so good. Very beautiful cover as well. I've always loved the cover of this book, and I see books trying to copy this. Where was I? A few weeks ago I was in the post office, and you walk through WH Smith's to get to the post office, and there's books there, and there was like 4 books in a row that had very similar covers, like newer books, and I thought, they've copied this. They've copied this style. It's just so pretty, like the flowers. Anyway, so it says, meet the keeper of the lost things. Anthony Perdue has spent half his life collecting lost objects, trying to atone for a promise broken many years before. Realising he's running out of time, he leaves his house and all its lost treasures to his assistant Laura. What a great name. Just saying. The one person that he can trust to reunite the thousands of objects with their rightful owners. But the final wishes of the Keeper of the Lost Things have unforeseen repercussions, which trigger a most serendipitous, if I said that right, serendipitous series of encounters. This book is so good. It's so emotional. It's so sweet. I love the idea of lots of missing objects and people being reunited with the objects, and also kind of all connecting as well. And it's just fascinating, interesting, charming, beautiful, sweet, lovely. There we go. So that is the other book I recommend. So there we go. That is the video done. Sorry I messed up a bit and said ponytail instead of pony boy. One of the most famous books ever wrote, but there we go. But yeah, I hope, you know, from this video you've got some ideas for books that you want to read. And as I say, reading is so good, it's so fun, it's good for the brain, it's good for the heart, it's good for your soul, it's good for your spirituality, I don't know. Anyway, reading is fun, is what I'm trying to get at. And, you know, as I say, you can still get books online. These are quite older books, so you probably find them, you know, super cheap online. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Come and follow me on Goodreads. If you follow me on my Goodreads page, links down below, you'll see what books I've read, what books I want to read, what book I'm currently reading. The book I'm currently reading is really, really good. It's called The Holdout, and it's a thriller. And it's very good, very, very good. But I'll be telling you more, because every week now I'm doing a weekly reading vlog. And basically I just sit there, I film a couple of minutes or so each day, and then I edit everything together from that week. So you get to find out a bit more in depth about what books I'm reading and stuff, my feelings on them. And also I kind of ramble on about what I've been up to that day and stuff. So yeah, look out for that book. It's a very good book. So I'm really enjoying it. Oh, really enjoying it. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I'm going to shut up now because I'm weird and annoying. But please click like, comment, subscribe. And if you're a bookworm like me, happy reading. Take care. Bye.